It's automatically sharing the screen. It's using my camera back.
Ah,
But the shared content is what people can see virtually, so we just use this if you want to do it. Sharing screen. Microphones will do a good job of picking things up in here, especially students talking. So students in the back class are talking, people on the far end will hear them. But you should be good. Like if people are complaining that they can't hear you as the meeting starts, we can have microphones downstairs in front of have a handheld and everybody will pick it up.
awesome. Is there any way to shift? Oh, it shifts automatically to
Yeah.
your speaking?
So it'll track, like if I start talking and walk over here, it takes a second, but it will generally do a pretty good job of moving and trying to get people into frame to fit everything. We'll see if it does. Sometimes we disable these on these cameras, and then some people complain it's disabled, so we never know which direction.
Hey, is it focused on me? Really? Could be. Am I going?
All the ways just barely in the frame. We'll see. This one. I've been disabled, but also.
I think for this app anyways, the speaker, you're gonna be up here, so I'm sure that matters. Oh.
Is there about to read around? We need this to. But that worked just fine. There should be this anything else.
Okay, awesome. Okay, easy enough. Thanks, Steve. Oh, and then I guess we have to record.
It's already set to record
Oh.
automatically, so you can start the recording.
Okay.
And it's also transcribing everything we say, so it is hearing us already.
Okay, awesome. So don't say anything back.
I don't talk too much crap. Unless it's about the end.
Yeah, unless it's right.
Then I'll probably laugh at it. Hey, leave it.
I'm gonna just run upstairs, grab my computer and stuff, and then I'll be back. You all need anything else from me, like before the event starts, or? Okay.
Actually, we just purchased it.
Maybe just write your name down below.
Speakers, do you come or just have to check in downstairs of the front desk? And you'll just get a name tag and stuff, and then they'll be able to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, I was gonna grab you one.
we are trying to bridge the gaps between non-tech and tech. And we are currently trying to foster an inclusive community in the tech industry. And also we are trying to do a student-led project development by ourselves, and also we are seeking more fundings and help from the staff and staff to do more projects and develop features in it, and we will soon repeating new tech developing our projects. And today we are going to have law and tech panels, and this is Shan Liao. She's the patent attorney, and Liao Zhang, he's the patent agent. We'll let them introduce themselves.
Okay, yeah, Shan Liao. So I'm currently working at biotech company as an in-house counsel. So some of you may not know, like, so attorney usually work for law firms or a company, right? A company usually we call in-house counsel. And then for a law firm, that like in-house counsel refer people working in law firm as outside counsel. So that's like a difference. So my undergrad started with biology. So and then it was a wild ride to get where I am right now. So I studied biology back in China and long time ago. And then at that time I was thinking to come to the US, maybe get a PhD, and then I was doing my experiments in lab. I feel like maybe I don't like it, and then so maybe I can switch to law. And then I mean there was a price come with that, and then after I graduated, I had to spend a year to study and then to pass the exam, and then finally get into law school in China. And then after that, I got an opportunity to study in the University of Washington for LLM program. And that LLM program is a program for people who has got a law degree outside of the US, or outside of the US. You can also go with JD, Juris Doctor first, and then go to LLM. So it's supposed to be a graduate program. It's more advanced than JD, no, in my opinion. But in terms of job hunting, it's different. Usually JD has more advantage because usually for people, for domestic students and who grew up in the United States and have more experience, and it's a 3 years training. So LLM program is a 1 year training because they assume that you already have knowledge for in law, right?
It's more specialized.
It's more specialized. Yes, I've got to say that. I was in the IP track. So LLM has different track, have like business law or general or tax or IP. So because my background and my interest, so I went for the IP LLM program. Okay. And then that's already how many years? 7 years of no, yeah, more than that. So 4 years undergrad, 3 years of law school in China, and then 1 year LLM. So that's like 8 years, right? And then, so I luckily I got a job in Redmond for a startup company. Actually, it's startup companies always work in fluctuation, and then the product actually is very amazing, but it's difficult to find a partner. So they are working on an audio codec, so signal processing and everything like that. And then they have software engineers. So I was the only non-technical people in the company. And then as you can see, that kind of mismatch of my background, my bio background working in a software, hardware related companies, kind of different, right? But for some reason, my boss thought that it's okay. And then so, okay, if you said that's okay, then I will just go for it. And then, I can do some self-learning. I can read some books, watch some YouTube videos, understand what's going on, but I thought that it was not enough. So, and then I went to UW Basel campus. They have a program. It's a 1 year certificate program about software design and development. So I went through that program. Actually, you thought that, okay, the 1 year program is not giving you any degree. So maybe it's not serious program. It's not, it's the serious program. So some of my classmates, they just never show up for the second quarter because they didn't pass the first quarter. So I did a little bit coding, learn more about computer science, and then I was thinking like, so what should I do now? I finished this. Should I go with the UW Buffalo master program, specializing in computer science, or should I go with UW Seattle that it's under the electrical and computer engineering department? They have another program that you can learn programming. You can also learn about circuits, learn about signal processing. So I feel like, okay, that one in Seattle maybe is more fitting my needs and my background. So I went with that master program. I finished it for within 4 years, I think, because I did it part-time. I was working full-time and then study part-time. Usually it's like the classes are at night, so it's convenient for me. Okay, so another 4, 5 years of school. So it's a long journey. And then I was kind of ready to move on to a law firm because I think working at a law firm will give me more opportunity, meet more clients, and then do more cases, right? Not just in CS, not just in EE, could be in biology, in biotech, which is my undergrad major. It was. And then so I worked for a law firm for 3 years. And then at the end of last year, just decided to make this jump and then go into this biotech company. So here I am. It's a long story, sorry. Yeah. How about Leo?
To look up to remember who I am sometimes. So I grew up here over on the east side and went to University of Washington undergrad in electrical engineering, focusing on embedded systems, which lent itself to semiconductor work down in San Diego at this company called Qualcomm. And they power a lot of smartphones. So one of the things that I learned right away, which I think speaks to how academia prepares you and does not prepare you for the career, right? Because when I started work learned that there were about 200 or so attorneys at this company who made as much profit as the 10,000 engineers at Qualcomm. And they were all lawyers doing patent law. So I thought, well, okay, that's a pretty interesting thing that nobody ever told us in engineering, that there are all these other aspects of businesses, which at the end of the day, they want to make money, right? And I think speaking with people at this company and lawyers gave me a new perspective on which path actually interests me. And so after a few years at Qualcomm, I had an offer to go to law school, but I decided to pursue an even more sort of exciting at the time field, in Silicon Valley. There was a startup, and so when and worked as a software engineer at the startup for a couple of years, and then of course that startup did not go public. I think a lot of my friends eventually ended up in Silicon Valley, and I think the experience in Silicon Valley is, I think it's valuable because it really changes how you think about the world. There's a lot more risk taking. There's a sort of ambition and drive that I think feels different from anywhere in the world. There are only so few places like that, and they've actually molded how I think. And so in 2018, I decided to come back to Seattle and pivot into law again. And that's when I realized how much Silicon Valley had actually changed the way I think, because when I got to law school at UW, I realized, wow, there's so many things that's different about law. I'm sure you right, like the values are very different in terms of there's no right or wrong answer. You're constantly given sort of, it depends, which I guess you also get in engineering, but at least you have a right answer. And so the other thing that Silicon Valley taught me is that it's okay to drop out of school. And so I decided to drop out after 3 months of law school.
3 months, that's longer than I thought.
Yeah. I think it was probably one of the shortest tenures at law school. And I was at a recruiting event, and a lot of the law firms there were looking for people with engineering backgrounds, and they said you could basically do what a patent attorney does on a day-to-day basis as a patent agent, and leverage your engineering technical experience in drafting patents, in talking with inventors, and learning new technologies day in, day out. So I thought, sure, I'll start working, making money, and have been working in law firms, big and small, ever since then.
So, application, say, if you are interested, I have a document, in Google Documents, you can scan it and get this ones. And also, like about patent agents, first, we do not need to get a law school degree to, become a patent agent. The roadmap is that you first get our computer science education, our degree, master degree, qualified for the degree. And then you pass the patent bar examinations, and then you'll be admitted into practicing in front of the United States Patent Office. And in the meantime, you will find a law firm or a company whose legal department dealing with patent applications. Then you can start to represent the clients. And the examiner application process is also in this document. And also the examination is 100 multiple choice questions, and it's administered over 2-3 hour sessions. And 50 of them will be asked in 3-hour sessions, and 50 will be asked in 3 afternoon sessions. And you will pass it when you get 63 of 90 scored questions, so you will be qualified. And you will get the test results immediately after your test. And if you pass, you will receive notice and do the following procedures. And if you do not pass, you can still apply for the examination again. And there's one very important approval of registration steps that's very important for those who have international student status. So you need to find an patent law firm or a legal department in the company or patent company to be your employee to practice this. So if you're a US citizen or permanent resident, you can just pass to get recognitions, but we are following into the limited recognition process. So that's the one thing we need to notice.
You can still take the exam, even if you are on a visa, but you just won't get the license. And then it will expire if you don't get your license in 2 years, like that.
And do you have anything to add to the patent exam?
An exam. I took it twice. So because I was working, and then it does require a lot of practice. And then basically they have a software you can practice and then just do those questions and then yeah, and then the good thing about it is that you can basically take it anytime as long as there's a spot that is open. I took it in 2018, I think. And another thing is the qualification because you're on your master's program. So I think it's okay because the category A and category B is kind of critical for some people that already have their technical degree. And sometimes they need to get like a 35 or some government issue to look at your transcript to see if you have enough credits. But I think you all should be good regardless of your undergrad. And yeah, if you're interested, I mean, you don't need to go to law school to be a patent agent. And I don't know if you encounter anything that you cannot do. Anything related to, because I can practice other law, I can do trademark. I can practice other general law, I can review contract, but you can't, right? But just for patent, that's the same basically.
There are a lot of things I can't do. I don't think I can I can't go to court and represent
Oh.
clients, for example.
How about IPR? In front of
Probably
USPTO?
not.
No.
Actually, yeah, but
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
So IPR is the process that is in front of, similar to the first process, but it's in front of the USPTO. So I think you don't need a
yeah.
state license to do that.
I was gonna say, I actually didn't even take that part.
What?
Yeah, I can. You know how much I like breaking rules. I just started working because at a lot of law firms, they need people with engineering technical experience so badly. They'll just hire you with an engineering degree and they'll pay you to take this test afterwards if you want. And I just basically kept working and couldn't take the test.
Okay, but this signature and everything that has to be
Yeah,
under somebody.
Yeah.
Like your civil way.
Right.
Yeah, okay. But you're doing the same line of work,
yeah.
basically. Yeah, it's like technical specialist sometimes. it's
Technical
called.
specialist, yeah, and scientist, and I think it's interesting because this friend of mine, we're working on an idea to create almost like a Uber for IP, because there's obviously a lot of technical talent out there, people with PhDs, and demand for it in law firms for this technical expertise, but then, there's a lot of middle inefficiencies in terms of how to get this expertise into the legal field. Yeah. That's definitely a huge demand and supply sort of
Yeah,
mismatch.
yeah. And then there's like so many AI tools to help you how to draft a patent. And some firms are pretty, liberal about that. Some maybe thinking this confidential information, you can't put it on the website and because it's cloud processing. And then, but there's opportunity where if you're interested in developing new, applications, like I think using technology to improve the legal process is the way to go. So not just, so AI tools for drafting patent claims, patent application, and for, streamlining the application process maybe, and for maybe immigration law also, like, or docketing system, docketing basically how you organize all your cases. So those are, we haven't really found, I have not really found anything that is the best. There's like always some issues or some bugs of those systems, so, yeah.
Okay, this means that, even though learn about patent agent, we, like computer science students, we can have a lot of chances to develop tools for, the law firms. And there's a lot of opportunities for the trends, like for automation.
Yeah.
How about like imagery recognition for like image tagging? Yeah.
Maybe. Another thing, okay, maybe like turn the photograph to patent drawings. Maybe that's too much, because patent drawings, it has certain requirement, has to be line drawing. And then, you need to show the shades, is that shade difference. And then sometimes you can just take a picture and submit it if it works, but it doesn't work all the time.
There's definitely a need for it. I know the start of that was trying to automate a lot of the document intake, and That's definitely one technology that has been in a lot of the patents that I've seen.
And,
Can I ask if that's a really popular area of study here?
I'm not sure. I'm curious for a long time because I always wanted to do the patent law, but I do not have the scientific educations. But now I have that. I'm starting to dreaming of big things. Yeah. And what was like the most challenging part of for you to like transferring between makers and coming from law to law?
Yeah, I think starting from for programming is tough. So, and then getting back to school and then figuring out all these math questions, like when I was doing the WE questions. So I found something that is useful that we can always ask for help. I use a online tutoring company called Check, probably some of you know. So some tutors are really good. So if I'm stuck and with some questions, I have money, right? I can pay them to teach me. And then that's tough because I never really studied until 3 or 4 in the morning when I was doing undergrad. So that was very challenging for me. But saying it like it's not healthy, but you gotta do it sometimes. Yeah, and then so that's why I kind of like I got some exposure to programming, and I was like, okay, if I learn more languages, if I learn more skills, it doesn't help me in patent drafting sometimes. Right? I just need to understand this entire system. And then so that's why I decided to like take less programming classes, take more other classes like robotics. I never, knew how to do it, but I think it's really fun and fun classes. It was tough, and then so the first challenge happened when I was switched from science to law because again in law school I was never good at any adversarial argument that because I don't like to argue with people. But as a lawyer, you defend for your client. You need to find whatever evidence you can use, right? For your client. I did not like it. But you just need to learn and then find different angles and then to talk to, your classmates about it and then do homework together probably. So it's more practical tips, but the important thing is to how to switch your mindset and then switch it back to science and engineering is another challenge. So I guess you always have to, keep your mind open and then believe in yourself and you can do anything because there are so many programs out there. Why they can do that, I can't, right? So I just don't find a reason that I can't. So yeah.
We just talked about all these things I can't do, so. But I totally agree, asking for help always great. Mentors are awesome. And yeah, switching your mindset, I kind of talked about that in terms of going from tech to law. You notice that there are different values in each field and picking up on what are the cultural aspects of each areas that you work on. Is important. Learning to speak the language that the field is helpful too.
Yeah. So which part of you dislike the most from law school? That made you make the decision.
Part that I found challenging was how arbitrary the rules seemed. There are a lot of judges in the legal system, and you don't hear about judges or some central authority in engineering. Because usually, if you can get it to work, it doesn't matter who you are. And so, it was just, oh, this person says this is the right answer, so that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't like the part because I'm not a trial attorney. I'm not a litigator. So litigators are the one who goes to court. I just usually talk to USPDO, like, by writing, like oral argument. I never done that, but could be. And then, but I did attend some of the training at the court. And then they just very old style. So I don't understand why before you said anything to the judge, you say, may I please the court? Like, why do I need to say that? It's just because it's coming from the British system, I think. It's very old and tradition, it's slow, never catches what is happening out there.
There's,
Legal system is.
yeah, there's a different emphasis placed on age because in law, the older something is, the more valuable it is, but that's the opposite in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading this legal case from the British system 500 years ago about how this man threw a brick at a window outside a bar. And then that legal case from 500 years ago still affects how the laws today are written. And so, you know, if you like history, I think that kind of thinking really makes sense.
Yeah, I forgot to ask, like, what are your undergrad, like social science or just non-STEM? Law. I don't know law. About other people.
Economics. Chemistry.
Okay, yeah.
Economics.
Economics, oh, that's actually helpful. Yeah, because you do a lot of math. Any other like anthropologist?
Yeah, it's a really interesting
I
area.
think we have international relations.
Oh, is that political science? Okay. Yeah,
A
that's
lot of poli-sci people.
right, for
Yeah.
change to coding. Yeah,
But I mean, in law.
in law, yeah, but non-law, it's different. Yeah, if you're interested, if you go to law school, actually, if you study social science, helpful, because you did a lot of readings.
Like what's the like daily life of a company counsel and what's the daily life of the patent agent like?
Oh, I can talk about law firm first, because that would be kind of similar, right? So a law firm that, it depends on where you are, like, if you're a junior position, that you basically will do whatever your senior partner or senior counsels assign to you. And then you need to be responsible for your work and also need to be very responsive to the question from your client, question from your partner. And then you have just to be standby. And then another terrible thing is the billable hours. I don't know about your hours, but I think 1,800 hours a year or 1,900 hours a year, it's very normal and very common. And then I calculated that actually, if you want to work 8 hours a day, you need to work every Saturday, basically. And then so just expect that, and that's your only billable. Billable means that you can present your bill to the client and then they can approve and agree to pay for you or pay for the firm. And the actual hours you spend is more than that. So if you want to bill 8 hours, you probably need to work for 12 hours. And then there are other times that you spend that is not billable. Like, so like networking, or event. And then, so you always under the pressure that every minute of my life is billable. I need to do something, otherwise I'm either like I can't accomplish this project or I'm losing money. So it's a very high pressure job in the law firm.
Yeah, there's a hierarchy in law that does not exist in tech. So I had a secretary and I thought, well, if I could do this myself, it'd be a lot more efficient, but things are grouped by sort of where you are in the pyramid scheme of law firms.
Pyramid scheme.
No, it's also very, I'd say formal, right? You wouldn't wear flip-flops to work, which is, what I used to be able to do.
Hoodie, how about hoodie?
Yeah, you have casual Fridays, I guess.
with jeans, yeah.
Yeah. Billable requirements, different firms, require a lot of hours, sometimes 1,800 hours. And, yeah, they tell you to bill the time that you go to bathroom.
Mm.
And
I heard about something like some firms that their assistant will bring the food to your office, that you don't need to go out and eat because then you can keep billing.
wow, that's nice.
Nice? No.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want some,
we didn't have that, so.
yeah.
Yes, talent agent have like more, better life work.
Work-life balance.
I think so. And I don't have to do a lot of networking or
You don't need to find clients.
finance.
Yeah. The stress of finding clients, because eventually you need, if your goal is going to be a partner, you need to have your own clients, right? So how do you find clients that just go out more? And then I think companies sometimes pay for some monthly events, some may not. So maybe on your own, and you're basically a salesperson, and then you have to be good at your job, you have to deliver good work, but at the same time, you need to know how to promote yourself. You just talk to a random person, and then you have to gain their trust too, right? And then some clients are very picky, like they will ask you a lot of questions, they end the questions. And they challenge their bill. You're like, they're saying, why do you spend like 10 hours on this thing? I was like, okay, you can take like 1 hour. I mean, like, it's just ridiculous, but they do that all the time. So that is like constant pressure from that. If you enjoy, talking to different people and then taking on challenge work, that may be exciting, but you definitely don't really have any work-life balance. It's not balanced.
I have a particular question for Shan. Like, after you did the part-time degree with your law firm together, how do you handle the time management and pressures?
Don't sleep. Or sleep less. Yeah, and I had to take naps during the day because I just couldn't. So I was lucky because my full-time job was not like stressful. Yeah, going back to like I was doing in-house counsel when I was started taking the part-time school. But later on, I switched to law firm that make it very, very difficult, but I was already getting to the end of it. So I was taking some classes that just require writing papers, not actually taking classes. So I get a pass on that. Yeah, so working in-house is different in a way that you need to talk to not just like client, right? So because in-house counsel, your client is the company. You need to be responsible for the company. And then, but you need to talk to people from different departments, especially the engineers or the scientists, because they are the inventors of the patent application you're working on. And then, so in terms of my current job, that I have to attend meetings almost every day, but those meetings are not necessarily related to the work I'm doing, but will be like important for me to participate, to see what is going on, and then keep up with the science team. So that is part of my responsibility. And then the nice thing about being an in-house counsel is just like you don't have that time pressure. So I mean, not every company is like that, but our company is pretty good about if you need to take an extension to do something, that they will pay for it, right? So you don't need to work your, to get that done. You can kind of take another 1 month or 2 months to finish it. Yeah, so definitely a better way to your health because you can sleep better. And then but if you want to get a, good in-house job, that you probably want to go through the law firm training first. So that's.
I was gonna ask if in-house is almost sort of graduating from law firm.
Yeah. So for most of the people, you either your goal is either going to be a partner, right, in a law firm, or you or move to another law firm, a smaller law firm that you can be a partner immediately sometimes. And or you go in-house, or you go solo. Solo means that you open your own law firm.
That's what my current boss did actually.
Yeah,
So he, is one person and it was sort of a startup because he hires a bunch of people who, are overseas and runs, everything on his own, which is, giving him a lot of flexibility. He can ski whatever he wants. He will works with whoever he wants, basically.
yeah, that's another advantage of doing this line of work is because you can work until you don't want to work. And if you are software engineer, that there's always, pressure on top of your head that is it gonna be laid off, right? Or am I too late to learn new language? And then the new grads are cheaper, like why they hire me, and then the new grads are also working, faster, deliver better, and then you have the pressure, right? But if being either patent agent or patent attorney, patent agent probably is more difficult because you can't open a law firm, but you can keep working until maybe 60, 70, that's not a problem.
And thank you so much. And now we will have the Q&A. And anyone can just raise his hand and ask question. Oh, I have one more question. Do you have any advice if we want to move into a patent agent? If we do not have any law, one, what part like more law and what we can put into the patent agent?
Or maybe as a backup plan,
Yeah.
I think start taking the patent bar exam if you have time. And if not, just go out and social or talk to me. And get you to like some reception and just talk to, any partners at law firm. They definitely interested hiring you as long as you want to do this. Yeah, it's always in demand. But if you have a few years of industry experience, actually that's better, I say. So try to find a job in your, in this computer science first, yes. And then use that as a backup plan. It's never too late to change.
Now you are canceled and you have 3 times other than working your language.
I think the total working hours are less, but actually in the law firm it's not that rigid. You don't really have as long as you finish your work, you can work anytime. If you say I have to go out somewhere this afternoon and then I come back and work at night, that's okay. Then most of the clients won't say anything about it as long as you finish your work.
I'm sorry, I was a bit late, so I'm not really sure what the context. So, had you guys worked in tech before? And if so, right now at this point, do you ever feel like the grass is green on the other side?
Right now, actually, I feel that grass is greener on the legal side because there aren't layoffs going on. I think, law firms have been around for 100, 200 years. And so they've gone through so many cycles and know how to sort of survive and plan for the long term.
Yeah. In the worst scenario, you can still on your own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you have clients, then you probably don't have it at the beginning,
Mhm.
but later on you have it. Yeah, and then your clients introduce more clients to you. So, and then, yeah, in tech, you have to depend on the company. If they're not doing well, you're not.
So I want to ask, you mentioned like a lot of perspectives changes after you enter the law industry, and for example, like there's no like direct, like right or wrong. And besides that, is there any other perspective change after like being in law for a couple years?
I think that I do notice a shift in how I view organizations, and relationships really matter a lot in legal professions. There's this guy in our law firm who basically said, you know, as long as everybody likes me, I'll be fine. I don't know. You had similar experiences.
I don't know. I mean, your question is more about like when you are still at school or outside when you're like working.
I mean,
Working. It depends on the culture. I think most law firms usually, not most, but some smaller maybe law firms don't have public politics. As long as you are good at your work, usually it's okay. That's when you are junior. But when you go up high, there definitely politics. Yeah, as engineer, you can be an individual contributor, right? So you don't need to really, you still need to keep a good relationship with your colleagues, but it's less. And then depends on what kind of law do you practice. If you are a trial attorney, you probably want to be more aggressive sometimes, like not aggressive to your client, but aggressive to the opposing counsel, or like your strategy, right? You have to be willing to take some risk when you try to gain something. I think what helped me is helped me to talk to different people, I think, because I had to talk to different people, even though I'm an introvert. But they kind of bring me out of shell to talk to people. If I stay in tech or, you know, in biotech, that I will probably just do my own thing, and then I don't care about what other people. And just discover a different aspect of our lives.
I have one follow-up question. So, like, in my imagination, I thought like being a lawyer, it's more like I don't need to talk to a lot of people. I just do my case and that's pretty much it. But actually, from experience and more like there's a lot about like networking and like facing different people with your major, like getting your own major. So it's not like.
If you just started, that's okay. But long term, if you want to survive, you still need to, yeah.
That's one of the reasons I'm moving to tech, because I don't want to have to do too much people. I want to have some of my networking events,
Yeah.
so I'm moving to tech.
I think patent agent is in the middle, right? Because you don't need to find clients.
I just talked to inventors.
Yeah. Use the same lingo, so it's easier.
I want to ask something like more practical, like how to have more networking in Fulton area. Because you know, after we graduate, it's something like always tech, whatever. Actually, a few months ago, I tried to looking for the volunteer in law firm to find a Python agent volunteer like that, and I sent my resume to them, and nobody just like replied to me. So this is the first time I have really a chance to so close to you guys and listen about something like really close to them. So I wonder, is there any way to help us to create the more close to it?
Maybe Leo has more information, because for me that I went to those events through law school. So as a student, right, you have all these resources and then just use the connections.
You can join Seattle Chinese Bar Association.
Yes, we are only Seattle Chinese bar association.
Yeah.
Yes,
If there was an examination, it's okay for me to join.
Yeah.
if you want to pick the patent policy.
You're interested.
Yeah.
There are a couple IP people in there. Yeah. Yeah. Just
Areas.
how do you know when you're not at school?
Last we like the messenger stuff. Yeah, it's like 1 year, 2 year program, but it's in
You can tag along UW's event.
Yeah.
Or Seattle Uni.
Yeah, there's that summer program that you got called
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I forgot. It's similar to I forgot what it is. It's similar to job fair, but like they have a mock interview. And then they will have people from different law firms, then if they go to school and then they will look at your resume and then they can decide if they want to talk to you or not. They will increase your chances to go in. But that's for law students though.
You have to be honest.
Yes.
Maybe Seattle, nice or.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's my first step to step into.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be happy to share if I see anything. Can you say which law firm did you apply? Is it big law?
I just search like volunteer and patent agent, just pop up in Google, like there is only one has a keyword linked together.
Oh,
I just in my computer, so like,
Maybe the patent.
Yeah, you can search for like the tech specialist or patent scientist or the patent specialist. Not just agent, because if you search agent, they will assume that you have license and practice, right? Yeah, or like some remote, maybe not in Seattle, easier.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe I just thought about that if you're interested. Maybe not sure how much knowledge you have.
Zero.
Zero. Yeah, that may be tough because like if you start with your cover letter probably to say that you have taken some classes or you have done some work related, to patent law, that would be helpful. But if you have zero, that would be really tough. Yeah. But I know you have to start from somewhere, right? I know the first job is always the toughest. As long as you get on it, it's easier.
And do you think it's like, in ours, if we provide a certain maybe workshops and be considered as a experience of the stages?
Yeah, if you have like patent drafting classes or workshop, yeah. But yeah, it can be beneficial.
Maybe we can connect with the law school.
Yeah.
Professors.
Yeah. They definitely have something like that, or like very intro patent law. At least you know what is going on, right? And then, like, where did you grow your interest? Why are you interested in patent law? I mean, like, if you know nothing about it, it's like, why are you interested? Like, at least you need to answer these questions.
We have two major law schools in Seattle City. It's Seattle University and University of Washington. So you can search if they have events, programs, or activities.
Yeah. Sometimes they distribute those through like a email list. So if you're not on the list, probably you won't know. But yeah, like maybe join some groups and share information,
I think Seattle University have the access to the writing.
Yeah, they have a very good legal writing classes.
All the questions. Okay, thank you. And we are waiting for the food from upstairs. It is still like picking it up. It's in the garage, and we will come here in a minute. During this time, please feel free to take the drinks and sodas and maybe talk with our guests. Finally, if you have more questions, you follow up. Yeah. And, if you haven't joined us, please join us.
I need to join it. Can I join? It's very nice that you come here.
Yeah, I like support the students.
That's really fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like. Builds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know like
interesting to hear like other ways that people can get involved and like broaden their horizon. Like that. So yeah, I found it really, really interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
the two perspectives. Yeah.
I just want them to have more options. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I know
because they're like, but then, you know, there's like medical, banking, like
Yeah.
all these different areas. So yeah, so law was one of those things that it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's true. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they're coming up with emerging technologies and different softwares and other inventions.
Yeah,
and yeah,
there's opportunity.
IP
there's
is
market.
always key, like, you know, in the legal documents, like we look at offer letters, you know, which one property you're not share, you not do the little, like, we go through those things. Yeah, it's the official offer letter, so we have to read that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then kind of say like, okay, so this is to say this, or if they're like, you cannot work for like a non-compete clause or
Yeah.
anything like that, yeah. Yeah, so it's like interesting, because we read those.
Yeah, it's like, I guess like some students like their dreams, right? You're thinking about, oh, this is.
Yeah, but then they don't realize, I mean, like, especially if it's a like, small startup, they think that they do a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, actually, most of the things are bound by, you know, like all the things. And then you might not realize like, after you graduate, this may affect you too.
Yeah.
As like non-compete and like you can't work for a tech firm, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, so we are always having to like.
Last year we had it. 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, London campus. That's.
But never had patience. So I appreciate, you know, like, yeah. I actually heard I had to take an intro to law class.
Right now.
Because I was applying for accounting, managerial, financial, and like all the things, and like, you know, probability and statistics, and just like whole talking, you know, and so, yeah. So it was really interesting, and I had that in the class.
But really.
And so when you have to like read these pieces, I'm like you, I'm like, I don't want to get up there and like argue. Yeah, I'm like, just let's read documents. and, Like,
Now we're.
like,
Yeah,
what the
I
client-
mean, like, think about it, like, what should I say? And then like, I mean,
Yeah, like you get up and you're like, for some reason you don't say the right thing. You're like, well, actually I missed this, but it didn't come out that way. And like,
the pressure that you always.
yeah.
Yeah, areas with growth.
Yeah, so it's a little intimidating.
Yeah, it is.
And like you said. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, you know, versus like the whole law, like pathway.
Yeah, I think it's way kind of like a balance if you don't want to have things.
Would that be like, kind of like the parallel?
Yeah, Kelly,
Or like law?
yeah, just go more on the process side.
Yeah, like research and
Yeah.
gather evidence and make
You don't really get much into the technical document.
Got it, okay.
Agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more about processing. More. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to like compare, like,
Yeah, definitely. If you don't, if you never talk about it, like, no.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hopefully you get more, you know, talk about different.
Absolutely. So yeah, so this is the new club, so they want to like, you know, events, which I think is, you know, it's great to have here.
If you want.
Yeah. For coffee, you know.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, she came to me and I was like, yeah.
It only gives you all the listen.
Yeah, and then she has all of them.
Yeah, I think it was about
Because I'm part of the management group.
Oh,
So, yeah, anyone.
I'll wait till everyone else, actually, no, that's. If I eat right now, I.
More budget now.
awesome.
No, I don't.
I mean, yeah, if they wanna like help with
Okay.
like we can help with it.
No,
That's
no,
what I'm saying with the online.
Okay.
You know, like when they have like training.
Oh, yeah, that's.
We post to like all the
If I eat right
students.
now.
Yeah. So how about like, or out, anyone like outside of.
I thought, I have to make the rest at least for 2 hours.
Spending
But I.
classroom, is it possible?
I would have to check. I don't know how the university outside groups coming, yeah, unless they were part of like, they were invited to come speak to students or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I understand, yeah.
yeah, because I mean, we do like player engaged events and different things, like to kind of add to their perspective and like info session like that, yeah, so, you know, so this would be similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, more people. Yeah, from like all different backgrounds.
Yeah.
You know, like.
We've got this sort of things where it's been like, yeah.
And you have like.
Competitively, but.
This is primarily science students, but we also have, you know.
Everybody is.
Information, COE, college engineering, like, so they have information, students, data science, anything like that. Oh, yeah, so it's like. Sports, project management, analytics. Not yet. Not yet. Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, people, especially like,
Yes,
really intimidating. Changing to UI assignments.
Yeah.
To like pure coding.
Yeah. So like, I've been always, so I'm kind of curious about like hearing the stuff from Ken or like on Ken or things like that, because I know there's stuff where we speak up council, you know, and they have. They're like, yeah, it's a transition.
Yeah.
Being able to like relate, you know, and or, you know, make improvements.
Yeah,
Like,
knowing
like,
that.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely one. Yeah, so for me, I can't see myself sitting in front of the computer, because I like people.
Yeah.
I like talking.
Yeah, programmers, we're dig into it.